Just
Thank you so much. I'm gonna untie
I love the
it 'cause
tie too. Kind of cutesy. Kind of cute. Oh my gosh. You know what's funny about that?
Much?
No, I don't.
Okay, great.
I don't. The room, I think it looks perfect.
Okay, great.
The funny thing about that,
I was gonna offer to give it back, but I feel like if I'm wearing it,
no.
no one's gonna take it back.
No.
There was
It's
a
perfect.
tactic here.
My dad actually was the one who pretty much like designed these. So
They're perfect.
They're perfect. We go to Madrid. I play a tournament in Madrid. My parents go. My dad doesn't tell anyone he's designed this shirt. He designed it off like Amazon or something like that. It was like, I think it had hearts in my face on it too. And he just showed up in Madrid wearing this. He was so proud of himself. Everyone loved it. And the cameras loved him wearing it. And so for the Olympics, my sister had even more made and everybody was wearing it.
Yes.
So it's just a chill piece.
Yeah.
Just
like
super
kind of
subtle. Understated.
Yep. Yeah.
Like could be worn.
Well, the best part is that we then proceeded to wear them to gymnastics.
I saw that. Yes.
Needless to say, I'm offering it back, but like, not really.
No.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Maybe LA 2028, you can wear it again.
You get it? I'm not framing this because then I want to be able to wear it again.
Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. I'd love to get into a segment I think you're going to like as a content creator. It's called Doom Scroll of the Week.
Okay.
This first clip you may have already seen. Someone said that if you're over 200 pounds,
right,
that you shouldn't be in a Pilates class.
Yeah,
so sure. This clip that we're going to show is not the original clip. It's a reaction to the clip. Queen Emma, roll the clip.
This is for the woman who said that if you're over 200 pounds, you shouldn't be allowed to do Pilates. If you're not her, keep scrolling. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
I would just like to say
234 pounds, and I'll roundhouse kick you in the fucking head.
I want my legs to
Why
look
is
like
200
that.
pounds like the benchmark for being unhealthy now? Actually, scratch that. Why is anyone anywhere talking about anyone's weight that isn't their own? Just mind your own damn business and have a great day. Bye.
Now, I'm assuming you saw this.
I did see it. Yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
I think with that, it's just like so people's ideas of like weight and health are so wrong.
Yes. You have personally talked about BMI.
Yes.
Yes. That you would technically be classified as obese.
Yeah, I'm
that's
considered massive on a BMI scale, you know? It's just, I'm like, I get that a lot of comments, or actually I don't get as many comments, I think, but I think I have a BMI of like 30, and I was like, some woman commented that, so I talked to my dietitian about it, because I was like, this is like crazy comment, and when you actually, like, BMI is just two numbers put together and that's it, and I'm like, does that show you anything? That doesn't tell you a gosh darn thing of what I can do, and no one would think, like, nobody would look at me and be like, wow, she is just, oh, you know, that is crazy. So I think with the 200 pounds thing is I'm 200 pounds. I like heaviest is like, I'll go to like 203, 213. And then my playing weight at the Olympics, I was 197.
Yep.
So it's just crazy.
To me, it screams that the original poster of this was probably 5'2" max.
1,000. Yeah.
Because I don't know that there are people who are, you're 5'11", right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like 5'9".
I was going to say, is it?
If you round up, it's like 5'10".
So it's a roster height. Got it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Keep going.
Anyway, breeze over that. Yeah. Cut that. I feel like at my height specifically that I've always teetered this like area of, especially when I was playing, of just, I mean, high 100s, close to 200 when I've been pregnant, over 200.
Yeah.
But it's not like anyone would have looked at me while I was pregnant and been like, ooh, she really packed it on.
Yeah.
People don't realize that like your frame, how are we supposed to help being that close to 200? And why, like you said, why is 200 the benchmark for like, wow, you're really unhealthy?
Well, and that's been my thing recently, is I've like this idea of kind of skinny and that coming back. I really think that some of our bodies are just meant to be certain ways.
Yes.
Like I'm big, we're tall. I believe that I just don't think I'm not supposed to be skinny for my frame. I have broad shoulders. I have, you know, I just think there's a natural way, and I think we're forgetting that. Like, we're not all, there's some women who are meant to be thin, who are meant to be skinny, and that's just, I've seen them eat so much and they just stay that way. There's some of us who are meant to be a little bit bigger, and I've seen people who are so healthy and like who live such fulfilled lives, you know, over 200 pounds. And that's kind of like why I'm constantly putting out these body positive messages, because it's like, it's never ending.
It's also funny as an athlete to hear someone make the idea that Pilates is like the measure of like Pilates is the class. Like, how many workout classes boxing, all these other ones that are like built-in strength, the same way that Pilates are. Like Pilates is built in strength. The fact that you're trying to be like, you need to be dainty to do Pilates.
Sorry, you have to be skinny to come in here. No Pilates instructor, well, hopefully no Pilates instructor is like, sorry, you have to be the fittest you've ever been for me to train you. You have to have a six-pack. There's no point if you don't do Pilates without a six-pack. Like, what? We like to go from here to go up. Like,
yes. Next up on Doom Scroll.
Yep.
This is a trend I have some strong thoughts on. I'm very interested to hear yours as a professional athlete. Queen Emma, hit it.
Hi, can I just be a bitch for a second?
Oh, yes.
Thanks.
Yes, you may.
I can't stand when people say, try this high protein recipe, high protein hack, blah, 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 protein, 100 fucking grams of protein this, a million fucking grams of protein that. And the recipe is literally like putting yogurt in a bowl and then dumping a bunch of protein powder into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eat fucking real food.
We pulled this TikTok because I may or may not have gone off on a hard tangent.
When?
In pre-production meeting. About how everything is like trying to be high protein.
Yeah.
And we could just like eat a hard-boiled egg, get some protein in. Like we don't need to just like smack protein powder into everything. And protein powder, I've had like a couple that aren't terrible. They're all chalky.
Yes,
most of them.
1000%.
And I love food. So I would just love to hit my, whatever you call them, macros.
Oh yeah.
In eating meals.
Yes.
How do you feel about this whole high protein push? Because you need to have a fairly high protein diet.
I have a high protein diet, but I also have like probably the highest carb diet.
Love that.
Ever. And I was raised on a very high carb diet. And carbs are really the energy that you need. That's science, truly. But yeah, I have a very carb heavy diet. I get protein in for most meals, but I'm actually not as committed to the bit as I maybe could be.
Sure.
I think I could be leaner. I could be this if I was really focusing on protein, but I just don't see, I think I'm fine. And also when I look around, it's so cool to look at other countries, what other countries eat. Like when I go on tour and I see some of these countries, like England's very carb-based country as well. So the girls will have like 2 pieces of toast and some beans on their toast.
It's very brown.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's yummy. I'm not saying it's that good. But
so my concern is just that like we're trying to pretend like when we blend up some cottage cheese and put it in the freezer that it tastes like ice cream. You get what I'm saying?
Don't lie to yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Eat a couple scoops of ice cream.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Then eat a hard-boiled egg for your protein.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I saw recently one. It was like protein tiramisu. She dips the rice cake in espresso and then she puts like Greek yogurt on there. I was like, that's not even fucking close.
That's almost offensive.
Don't lie to me.
Don't offend tiramisu like that.
Yeah, of course they put protein in the yogurt too. I'm like, I couldn't even be satisfied.
There's no way.
There's no way.
But then why eat it? You see what I'm saying? If it's not going to scratch the itch.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing it just to try to scratch it, what are we doing? Just eat the fucking tiramisu.
Yeah, I really think we've lost the plot on that. And my dietitian does want me to get a lot of protein in. Thank you, Jackie. I'm working on it, but I personally am more of a real food person. So like if after training, I'll have a quick protein shake. Like that's very easy, quick protein. But like if I can, I'm going to have the eggs. I love like beef jerky and biltong. I just think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong in science, but I don't know if we need that much because I'm doing fine and I just had a bagel this morning.
So you're telling me you're not going to lean into the carnivore diet?
Oh, I love.
You love watching people eat a stick of butter?
I'm like, why are you dipping that in just an egg yolk?
No.
You think that's right?
To round out this week's Doom Scroll, one of the most iconic runway walks I've ever seen. Let's see it.
What? I was feeling myself.
You should have been. Are you kidding me?
Look at me.
Are you kidding me?
Hey.
And you hit it at the end of the run.
Yeah, I did.
Stop it. Are you?
Oh my gosh.
This is the finger gun, right?
Look at me.
Hit it.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to hit it.
There it is. Outstanding.
Thank you. I've never felt as hot as I did in that week.
It was outstanding.
Thank you.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous, but I'm gonna be honest, I love attention. I love it. So I get out there, people start clapping for me. I'm like, this is it.
Yep. Watch me shine.
I love it.
I do think it helps that you get to walk a runway with no shoes on.
Because I think smart. Yeah.
Right? That's, I feel like, the nerve-wracking part for me. The idea of a runway, don't put me out there.
Right.
Not teetering.
Yes. And if you see some other shows where the girls are wearing their heels, and if you can't fully walk in a heel,
it's obvious.
It takes the sexiness out of there.
It does.
I tried to walk as normally as possible. There's like some, oh my God, I cannot stop looking at myself. Well, I tried to like not be, I was learning some tips. Like some of the models would say like walk on your toes. And so I was trying and I was like, I'm for sure going to look dumb. But there's just some things I wanted to like vibe with the crowd, feel it. And I felt very confident. I think like, I don't know why that week was a big week for me, but even just seeing myself and seeing like, I've definitely not like my heavier that I've been. I'm not like in Olympic fitness, but like I feel really good. And I just love that other girls get to see that and like see how confident and beautiful I feel. So I was like, if something doesn't happen for me after this, I don't know what will.
Come through.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm hot as heck.
That does it for Doom Scroll of the week. I'd love to circle back to rugby. Looking at your rugby future, you said you're competing in LA in 2028.
I am going to try to. I think it would be so cool to play in a home Olympics. That is my goal, but I am still like in a phase of trying to figure out what my love of it is, like my why for rugby, because I feel very fulfilled after the Olympics, getting a medal and doing all that. So I'm trying to figure out now, like, what is it to put my body in line? Because I mean, Jason knows it's a lot. He's from what I've seen from the documentary, his body's a little messed up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's just golfing now.
Yes, very much so.
That's what I feel too, is like playing while I still love it and not like it's a chore, and also like I still feel good is what I'm battling now. And I've been so kind of have all this with the social media on the side, and I love doing this. I love doing the social media, the swim weeks and the shows. So I hope that I go back in a couple years and I'm like, I can't wait to work my ass off to put in a grind. Because when I think about doing a fitness test, I'm like,
turns out I don't know
that.
how much I love rugby.
You know what? Put me off the bench. I don't want to.
You know what? Marathons.
Well.
Fans also recognize you from your signature style on the field. For anyone who doesn't know, you always wear lipstick while you're playing.
Yes.
Why do people have such a hard time understanding that athletes can be feminine as well?
I think like to be taken in the one, because sports were always such a male dominated thing. So like when women got, years ago, when women started getting into sports, it's like, okay, well, only the men have been doing it, so we got to do it the way the men have and be like as physical as whatever as possible. And I just hope that the tides are turning, because, and I think you've probably felt it as well playing sports or whatever. I think it was always in any sport I played, whether softball, basketball, it was like this stereotype that went along with it, and that you had to be this to play sports. And I was always like, I don't ever feel that way. I've never felt like I'm not feminine when I put on my jersey. I've never felt like not like a little lady when I was, bossing up in the paint. Like, I just thought it was so interesting that there's a stereotype around me. And I mean, I remember from a young age, I just have this vivid memory of being in the locker room or the weight room in high school, and some guy was like, oh yeah, you're really like, you look really manly or something like that. And I remember that. And I was like, wow. Talk about hurting. But I just remember, like, I don't feel that way.
It hasn't stuck with you at all.
No, I don't remember.
No. Barely remember it.
What? Was it by the desk in the weight room? What was his name? No. It's always so interesting that we have this stereotype. So I think it's changing, because it's shown that doesn't matter if you look this way. If you're the most beautiful woman, you can be a great on the pitch, on the field, whatever it is. And I hate that even sometimes like attractive women, they're not believed to be the best player. Like there's some beautiful rugby players or beautiful soccer stars, or some people are like, no, there's no way she's that good. There's no way she's that good. I'm like, you think that that's like stops her from running hard? It's a whole thing.
I will say, I do think to some degree there is an idea of like people felt emasculated. And then they started to perpetuate this idea that if you were strong, that it was only a masculine feature, and that it couldn't be attractive in a feminine way.
Yes.
And that to me is like, so, I mean, tell me you're insecure without telling me you're insecure.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah, strength and muscles have always been associated with men and masculine, and I think that's fine, but I just think it's maybe a rewriting of it, or if that is a masculine feature, okay, but I feel so beautiful with it, and I feel so strong, so.
I don't think I've ever felt like more comfortable in my skin than on a field hockey field in my uniform. Like those are those moments where I'm just like, I know I'm supposed to be here, and I know that like the way that I'm moving is intentional, and like it just like in my body I'm very present in those moments, and like that feels good. Like I just think it's silly to be like, well, you can't, it's not attractive that you're out here trucking people.
And it's so wild to me that like that stops some girls from playing. Some girls from playing sports. And my thing is, I would love if more people tried rugby, but honestly, try any sport.
Yes.
Go try field hockey. Go do shot put, whatever it is. Just see what your body's capable of instead of just it being something to objectify. I think go do the Pilates, except if you're 200 pounds. Okay, I'm just kidding. Go do the Pilates at whatever size. Go try anything. Like, your body isn't just a thing to be, looked at. It can do amazing things.
It's also crazy how many options you have. Yeah. You have every option under the sun for different types of sports or way to get your body moving or competing. And the idea that all of our bodies are supposed to do one specific thing or sort of pigeonhole yourself. Yeah. Not only is it your body, but it's also the way your mind works. Mm-hmm. Like I've talked about recently about how I coach now and say that you can either be a Jason or a Travis. Jason, my husband, is analytical. My brother-in-law, Travis, is very fluid, like turns his brain off and just goes. Yeah. And so we talk about that a lot. Those two mindsets, you can find spaces for them in any sport. Yeah. But ultimately, like they might do better at one sport than another sport. The way you learn might dictate what sport you should get involved in. Like all of those things come into play. I think it's so sad that some girls might not have the opportunity to try a bunch of different sports, but also some of them are just told like, this is a sport you're going to try. And then when it doesn't stick or it doesn't feel good or you're not excelling at it, a lot of people I think get really discouraged. Speaking of your lipstick on the pitch, you have one of the best videos I've ever seen on social media. A little friend to walk out on the tunnel. It's not even a friend, it's your twin.
I was like, looking in a mirror.
Right? How does it feel to see all these little girls that they want to be like you?
It's so fun. I love it because like even with this little girl, I was like, oh, that's me. And at her age, I was starting to get into that age where I was like figuring out what my body was capable of, or like figuring out like, oh, okay, I don't look like the other girls. Oh, I'm kind of bigger than the girls, but yet I'm faster, I'm fitter. And this was where you start to become more aware. So it's so cool to see her looking at me like that. And she's wearing the lipstick because they put on the red lipstick. They're like, oh, I did this because of you. And that was really impactful for me because I put myself in her shoes and to see where, it was almost like what it was to where it could be.
All right, let's switch it up here. I feel like you're the perfect person to help me debut this new segment on NGL. I'm calling TMI. I have recently been informed that TMI, the traditional way I knew of it is too much information. Yes. But recently I have seen in a lot of TikTok comments that people have switched the meaning, that it is now tell me immediately.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep up.
I can't keep up either, but I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I love the idea of tell me immediately. Okay. Because in a situation, specifically my most recent situation was birth. I always tell people that I want to know everything. Like I want to know people's horror stories because if I go into birth and it's not that, I'm like,
a win.
That's a win. I didn't end up like that. Like
it's a risk you take.
I didn't give birth in on the way in, I didn't give birth in the car.
Not like Janet.
You see what I'm saying? It just feels a lot better. Yeah. Okay. And I also feel prepared, you know, because I'm like, what could happen? Tell me all the things. Would you say you're a too much information person or tell me immediately?
I too much information.
Are you?
I also think it's funny that that's now changing up because I could see you just messaging your friends and they're like, they say something and you're like, TMI, meaning tell me immediately. And they're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Was that too much information? You're like, oh, no, sorry. The kids are saying tell me immediately, whatever.
Yeah, that's it, the kids.
You got to clear that up. Interesting.
I'm hip, I swear. rugby is a physical game.
Yes.
And maybe even more so than field hockey. I'm going to need you to tell me immediately about how you broke your nose.
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Okay. So this was in like the last 20 minutes of the game. My wing like didn't come up. We got a little mix up. A girl kind of gets by me, so I go to chase her down, and then my teammate comes to make a tackle, and then I make the tackle, but we both don't fully make it because she passes it, and I just like bump my nose on her arm in just like the certain right way. And then I get on my hands and knees on the field, and I'm like gushing blood. Yep. And I just was numb. I was like, this is I'm getting angry. I'm like right by the stands too, so all the fans are watching. The doctor comes out. The trainer comes out. I love when they're like super chill, like they know you've done something bad. It's like, okay, we're just gonna plate this on here and just hold this real tight on here. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what's happening.
So it's bad.
So it's bad. So I go I walk out. I'm like still dripping, got it all over. I walk out, go to the med room, and he's about to stitch it up. And I was like, is it crooked? He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, put it back into place. He was like, well, how well do you handle pain? I was like, I don't care if I pass out. Yeah. If I die on this table, I want to look good in my coffin. Put that back into place. And it wasn't even that bad. I was like, he just pushed it a little bit because it was like slightly off. Yeah. And I just like, why was that not the first thing you did? Why were you going to stitch it
out there?
Do you know who I am?
Oh,
I literally spent all my day in front of a camera.
Yeah.
So I felt very numb afterwards. And the classic thing about rugby is it's like, just play on really. So he was stitching me up. He's like, and then you just get back out there. I was like, what'd you say? I'm not getting back out there, buddy. And then some guy goes and gives Olivia, the manager gives Olivia a new jersey, like, and then she'll just put, because you can't have blood on your jersey, she'll just put this on. And Olivia's like, what?
I feel like they should have known it was bad when you have to switch jerseys. Like, for those who don't know, there is a liquid that will take blood out of a jersey if it's like a couple drops or like a little scuff. If you have to switch jerseys, I was like, we've done too much.
I'm not going back out there. And I didn't. He put it back into place. He stitched it up. I was just so pissed the whole game because it was hard. It was like, this is my face.
Yes.
I enjoy it. I enjoy my nose. And also it's like,
I like breathing.
I like breathing. My thing is being in front of the camera. And so I was very sad. I think I cried a little bit, but then the girls were going out that night, so then I went out.
Naturally.
And got drunk. So it was fine.
It felt better.
It felt really good.
It felt better.
All my blood loss.
It's funny that you say that the trainer moment is the moment you knew it was bad, because I had a similar moment in college when I split my forehead open.
Yeah.
And the trainer came out and she knew that I was just sort of like, it was my senior year. She knew my tendencies at that point.
Right.
And she was like, I was like, how bad is it? And she was like, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure I can see your skull. So it turns out you couldn't see my skull.
Oh.
It was just the tissue underneath. I did have to get inside stitches and outside stitches, but I've also broken my nose. I got a field hockey stick laid across my face.
It looks very good.
Thank you. They didn't put it back into place right away because, and I quote, the one bone was flapping like a swinging door, I believe is what the surgeon said.
Chills on my back.
So
my
sorry.
just raised.
You did mention that you're a too much information person, and now I'm giving you too much information.
And so then you got to fix later?
A week later when the swelling went down.
Yeah.
It was one of those where it happened and then you sort of put your hands up and then you do the check and you're like, cool, got it. And you know, as quickly as your face bleeds and you just have like a pool and you're like, Mom, start the car.
Right. What are you going to go with now? Are you going to use TMI as tell me immediately or stick with too much information?
I'm going to stick with too much information
Okay,
because that's what it was intended as.
Yeah, I think so.
We're not pulling
Don't
some
let these kids take this from us.
Ever. Never. You can't have it. I won't allow it. We do need to touch on your dancing.
Of course. Yes.
First of all, one of the sweetest things I've ever seen is your relationship with your partner, Alan.
Yeah. That's my buddy.
Delightful.
Yeah.
The content that has come out of that on TikTok, top tier.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
I feel like I'm like watching just best friends be best friends.
Pretty much. He's like it's like my teammate or like a little brother that you love, but also, you know,
one of these. Yeah.
Because it's hard. I mean, it's like, it's a partnership, right? But also at the end of the day, it's also a coach and a player. Yes. And also like a man-woman, not in a romantic relationship, just being friends and enjoying time together.
How annoying is that?
I know. Well,
How
honestly,
annoying.
I was like, okay, if just keep voting, please.
If you could go on any competition show next, what would that be?
I think my time on reality competition has ended.
Are you sure?
They keep asking. Would you go on one?
Absolutely.
Which one?
Fucking not.
Okay. What? So, okay.
No, but you already did it. You're
Well,
good at
yeah,
it.
you're right. So you're not doing
nailed
Dance
it.
with Stars when they get the call?
Absolutely. Fucking not. Don't call me. Don't it's a
call her.
waste of a phone call.
Okay.
Don't call me.
Well, all right. So if I was younger, I think I would have slayed on Love Island.
Oh, okay.
1,000%. I would have killed it.
I would love to tell you that I've watched Love Island.
Yeah.
But
That's okay if you don't
the
have
show's
to.
called Not Gonna Lie. So
It's just couples, hot people in a villa.
I've heard. I do
know,
understand
hey.
that.
That's where I'd love to spend a summer. But I'm a little too old for that now.
Are you?
I think so. At least
How old are the people in the villa?
Some of them are like 21.
Ooh.
They're fresh out, ready to make a name for themselves, and that's not me, you know. But now I think if I were to go on, I don't know. Dance with Stars was like really hard to get out of me. People love Traders. Like they keep seeing if I want to go on Traders. Have you watched that?
I have. Well,
Okay, she's lying.
bits and pieces.
Not gonna lie.
Bits and
she
pieces.
does.
Bits and pieces. My husband watches it, so
Oh,
I'll
okay, there
catch
you
it
go.
when he is watching
You're
it.
like
and I'm
actually
walking
the dad
by.
who's in the lobby. Like, what's that guy's name?
That's it.
What's he
That's
doing?
me. Yeah.
I don't have one right now. I hope to go more into scripted space.
Ooh, love it.
Get into acting.
Okay.
Be like a kind of a female John Cena out there, you know, play the hot assassin or something. Probably typecasted for sure.
Did you know
That's
that
okay.
we like to manifest things here?
Oh,
Perfect.
Where did we start?
But you just did.
I just did it.
We did it. You heard it at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
The other
there.
one. The other one.
The foyer. In the foyer.
So I can appreciate how fun it is to do a family podcast.
Yeah.
You guys recently started House of Mar.
Just
How's
us
it going?
chatting. It's good. It's just me and my sisters, us how we video call is now us talking into mics with each other. It's been good. I think like we always have something to talk about. That's what I think makes it so special is conversation is so important to us. It's so important to our family. Every night we have a family dinner. We sit around and chat and we know how to converse and we love sharing things with each other. Like they're my sounding boards. They're who I tell everything to and hopefully they do the same for me. But it's been a lot of fun. I think it's a realm that I, wanted to get into and to build something and to have people as well, they see me online, but also they get to connect with my sisters and my family to almost be like you're part of it as well.
You mentioned earlier, Olivia is the creator of Girl Dinner.
Girl Dinner. Yep.
Love it. I am a Girl Dinner regular, although I have since graduated to Mom Dinner.
Mom Dinner.
Because I eat the crust off the peanut butter and jelly that I cut off and the last couple bites of the macaroni. As a TikTok mastermind, do you think we should attempt the Mom Dinner trend?
I think you could try it because one thing about moms, they will eat anything that their kids will spit it up and they'll be like, and they'll throw it right back in. I'm like, what the heck? Moms, man, it's crazy. Like,
I mean, I have been, on that thought, I have been subject to a wet chip. I don't know. It's when the chip is licked and then put back in the bag as like a surprise for later.
I love that. Babies will just they have their hands and they just get it and then they give it to you. And it's like stuck over their hands.
I do
and
have
then
to.
you eat that.
I am known here as a germaphobe. Like I am. So the people who like take cute little like, oh, you want to feed me? Oh, and they like eat it out of their kid's hand or like their kid wants to share. I will fake that shit till the day I die.
Oh, really? You won't eat that?
No.
Oh,
I will say up to a certain point I will. When
Yeah.
they're learning to pick up things and they're sharing and they're under probably a year old, sure.
Here, mommy.
Yeah, I know where it's been, right? I know
Right.
where your hands have been. I know where the
Yeah,
snack
yeah.
has been. It hasn't left this since I put it on there. My older kids couldn't fucking pay me.
Right,
Could
right.
not pay me.
Nasty.
I don't know what you've touched. I don't know when the last time you wiped your ass or washed your hands. So
Yes, right.
it's not me. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to get caught eating a crusty goldfish
Yeah.
or a wet pretzel. I'm out. I said wet pretzel. That's what I said.
What?
A wet pretzel.
Hey.
They lick the salt off and then leave them in a little stack. Like it's.
You don't eat those. You eat them. You don't eat them.
You couldn't.
I'm scared. But some moms do.
A lot of moms
A lot
do.
of moms
and
do.
power to you ladies because it's Not me.
Which I think I could I feel like I'd be the type who I'd just eat anything with my, I'm like, you're me.
Yeah.
Put it, I saw this one cute video of this kid who was like feeding her dad. She had like, did you see this? She had like a big old handful. Her dad's like laying on the floor like, oh, yummy. She goes home and just shoves the handful into his mouth of like the treats. Hilarious.
That would happen in our house because Jason will accept anything.
He will.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Share with Dad. Sometimes I'm like, go. Dad really wants it.
He said earlier
he was like,
pretzel.
I want
That's what he told me
a
earlier.
wet pretzel. That's what I want.
Is that? Yummy.
Yeah, soggy makes it sound not as bad to me. Wet pretzel sounds worse. So I'm gonna stick with wet pretzel.
I'm on wet pretzel. I kind of like that.
Okay.
But I hear what.
Come on over. We have
what
plenty.
they're doing though.
Come on over.
Okay. I mean, for dinner today.
For mom dinner today, we have wet pretzels.
I think you could have something there.
Okay.
I think you could be like, hey guys, I'm eating mom dinner. I have some wet pretzels. These are the ones that my kids have actually licked off. This is a potato chip she threw back in the bag.
Yes.
And then this is, and you just go like that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll revisit. Okay. Well, speaking of moms, I'm very close with my mom, Lil Lise. I just this morning described our relationship as codependent because I love my mom. When my car starts, I'm pretty sure that it calls my mom. It's the weirdest phenomenon, but it happens every time.
It's weird.
So I'm going with it. I love checking in with her. I heard you are also close with your mom.
Yeah, I love that lady.
You called her.
Yep. Keep going.
After you finish the sentence, after you lost your virginity.
Yeah, I did.
How did that conversation go?
Well, honestly, it's because I was like, I say it on my pop-up. I was like, shit, mom, lost my virginity. I'm probably going to be getting it. So we've got to set up a gyno appointment for me. Like, and this, mind you, this is in my 20s.
Yes.
Okay, so like, mom, I imagine they're going to be knocking down the door now. So let's go get a gyno.
Yeah. Open for business.
We're open for business now. But I called her, like family was over, called her because I say I'm not going to tell my family. I'm like, no, I'll keep this to myself. I literally cannot. I have to share. I'm a TMIer, too much info. I got to share with people. I called my sisters, then I called my mom, then I called my friends. She was very, I don't know, it's going to be fun for you when this happens to you. Yeah. She acted very calmly. She was like, oh, okay. Yes, very cool. Yes. And I guess she didn't sleep a wink that night. But I was like,
did she tell you that?
Yeah. Well, no, my dad or something. No, not my dad, because I didn't tell my dad. He still thinks, hopefully just kidding. he's probably not that dumb. She did not sleep. I think she told me that later. Like, I didn't sleep at all that night. I was like, oh, really? Oh, sorry about that, Mama.
That's weird.
But she also wanted that. She wants us to feel like we can tell her anything.
Yes.
And she's done such a great job of it. We go to her with anything. I tell her a lot of stuff I do now. Probably shouldn't.
Now, how do I achieve that with my own girls?
Yeah, interesting.
Because I asked my mom openly. I'm like, Mom, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do I create this? How do I duplicate this? Because I want my girls to be able to tell me things.
Great question. I think like my mom, for us at least, was never like putting on pressure, like, you can't do this, you can't do this, this. So even when the sex talk came, it was like more like, well, when if the time feels right or when the right person came. And so I never thought of it as like this cool thing I had to do. Whereas like I had some classmates who were like, just had sex just to have it. I was like, why did you do that? So like, whereas with my mom, it was like, this is something, it's not bad to do. Even with like drugs and alcohol, it was like never this thing that was like, you can't do this. So it took the fun out of it when it's like something that your mom's like, okay, well, this is something, but you have to be smart about it. Maybe do it here or whatever. So it really takes the fun out of it. You're like,
it's not as risky.
It's not as risky,
I will say there was some point in my life when I was younger where I told my mom during one of our deep mom talks, AKA when I like bombarded her and like came in and sat in her room while she was doing something and just was like, okay, right. Mom, here,
takes off her glasses.
We're here now. But I told her, I was like, I think I'm going to save myself for marriage.
I love that.
And she was like, I think you're going to change your mind. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm pure.
Lil Lise, I won't be doing that.
Well, let me tell you, Lil Lise doubled down. She was like, hey, you got to test drive a car before you buy it.
Right.
So,
thank you, Lil Lise.
Yes, we might have to cut that depending on Lil Lise's feedback. But
I think that's like also realistic, right?
Very.
So, just
it opened up like if my choice is not to stay pure towards marriage. Newsflash, didn't stick.
Right. Right.
Naturally. But if it wasn't that, my mom was like, you're good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Whatever.
Which made it less risky.
Yeah.
It made it less scary.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to recreate the little lease situation.
I think also it opens the door for just safety and protection. Like with my mom, then I could talk about getting an IUD.
Yes.
I could talk about like condoms and all that stuff with her. So it also opens the door for that, you know, they're now protected and they know. Whereas instead if they're scared, they're not going to talk to you about getting proper birth control, or they're not going to talk to you about how to stay safe, you know, when they're exploring. Because I'm going to tell you what, if kids want to explore, they're going to explore. If kids want to do something, you're telling them they're gonna find a way. So it's almost like better to just equip them with the smarts and with the safety of it.
Yep, an open conversation.
Yeah,
I love that. I hope I can figure out what Mrs. Mar and Lolise have achieved here. Well, luckily you can hear a lot more about the Mar family every Tuesday on their podcast, House of Mar, on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. I always like to give people props where they're due. Raising 4 girls, like we talked about, I am so grateful for what you're doing for female athletes, for the stage that you're setting and the environment that you're leading them into. And also just the conversations you're having. You're a fucking badass. I don't need to tell you that. And it's really cool that my girls get to have examples like you in the world.
thank you.
Thank you. By a Wave Original, I'm your host, Kylie Kelce, coffee drinker, back on the full caffeine, established animal nerd, and my husband tells people I'm fluent in French. I'm not fluent in French. I took it for a long time, but I am not fluent. Coming up on today's episode, Father's Day is this weekend, and if you're looking for some last-minute gift ideas, don't worry. I've got you covered with my Mother's Guide to Father's Day. I have a feeling you're going to like it. And then you're going to hear my conversation with the guest everyone, including me, has been asking for since I announced this show. I have a YouTube comment here that perfectly sums up the hype. I cannot wait for the Alona Mar episode. I'm going to flip a table if it ever happens. Let's flip those fucking tables. It's happening. Alona Mar is coming up. And I might even give Queen Emma a full hour. But before we get to that, there's something I need to address. There's a clip going around from the other podcast that a lot of you have tagged me in. It also invaded my own algorithm because it's all over mom talk. That's right. I'm talking about Ellie's call. I'm all done pooping. Queen Emma, hit it.
Can you guys make out what she's saying?
I can't.
Sounds good though.
She's saying, I'm all done pooping. That's the call for me to go wipe Elliot's ass.
That's the soundtrack of my life right there. This happens probably anywhere from 2 times minimum, 6 times maximum a day. It is legitimately something that I hear in my, I was going to say dreams, but let's be honest, that's a nightmare. So a while ago, I started plotting, and every time one of the kids would get up from whatever we were doing and announce that they needed to go poop, I would say, okay, make sure when you're done, you call for dad. And they'd be like, all right, cool, got it. But since when they start yelling, they don't specify, they just yell, I'm all done pooping, we would start passing the blame back and forth, like a fun little game we like to play. But they did keep it up for a little while that they did ask for Jason pretty consistently. It has since gone awry. They just yell for anyone that they were previously with or that they know is in the middle of something. That's usually the one they ask for, the person who's in the middle of a task. My favorite is when they do it while I'm rolling meatballs. Can someone tell me when you're supposed to stop wiping your kids' butts? I could be about to get dragged on the internet. It should surprise no one that's a real one. I don't like the idea of them wiping and then doing like the questionable kid wash of the hands and then coming downstairs and touching things and like continuing on with their life. So we are still wiping poops. Pees, everybody wipes. We're having fun, guys. I swear we're having fun. It's fine. But really, all the moms out there, can you tell me so that we can sort of add them all up and get the average of when we should stop wiping their butts, specifically for poop, okay? Don't come for me. Please don't. Please. Women support women. Don't come for me. The other day I was on the phone with Queen Emma and she got the play-by-play of Benny's latest poop saga. Benny still needs full assistance on the potty, mostly because she wants you to sit on the edge of the tub and have a full-blown conversation with her. Then if you try to leave the bathroom, she'll go, I'm all done. I'm not all done. I'm all done. I'm not all done. It's, again, another one of those silly games we're playing. But Emma was on the phone with me and I was in the bathroom with Benny and she heard the whole back and forth. Finally, she let me wipe her butt. I stood at the sink to wash my hands after I helped her wash her hands. And I turned to look at her in the hallway and she was actively wiping her butt with her dress that we were about to put back on. And so I told her, we can't put the dress back on. You just wiped it up your butt. You literally flossed your butt crack. I can't believe I'm saying this. You flossed your butt crack with your dress that you were supposed to put back on. Now, this goes in the list of ways that Benny is convinced she will get a new princess dress throughout the day. Because we've limited her to one princess dress a day. She's getting more and more creative. Well, now that that's been addressed, let's move on to Can I Be Honest? And this week, I'm getting honest about Father's Day. This year, I have such a good gift. I have such a good gift, guys. It's amazing, okay? I'm going to need you to probably bleep this out. But I'm getting Jason. I feel like I nailed it. But we'll find out when I give it to him. What I've done in the past, we don't really get too crazy. I have the girls make cards because that's always very sweet. And now the girls can write their card as long as I write out what they need to write. So this year could be the first year that Jason gets handwritten cards for Father's Day. Wyatt has done a great job of I spell things out and she writes it out. We're still getting our spacing down. It's like one giant word. Like the sentence is a word. No biggie. We're going to get our finger spacing in there. It's going to be fine. Well, if you haven't bought a Father's Day gift yet, I actually have some ideas that I think you're going to enjoy. NGL presents The Mother's Guide to Father's Day. Gifts for him that are actually for you. Number 1, plan a special Just Dad and the Kids outing. You know how you should celebrate Father's Day? By being the ultimate dad. You know what? If you take them out without mom, then you're going to get so many compliments from strangers. Like an unreasonable. Seriously, it's insane. All of the boomers you come across are going to be like, you're the best dad. You're amazing. Look at you. You can get them tickets to a sporting event. Okay? You're going to need to clarify when you give him the tickets that it's for him and the kids, not him and his friends. Don't let him start texting because you don't want him to take up the seats of your children. Day at the water park? A camping trip overnight? Stop. If it's not already clear, mom would stay home for all these activities. Have fun, mom. Kick your feet up, read a book, put the show on, binge it. Number 2, literally any new gadget you've been eyeing for yourself, as long as it's something he can occasionally use, okay? These are going to be things like appliances, okay? Foot massager, back massage. There's these cool back massagers that you put over your shoulders and you pull the hands down, it like settles into your neck. That's perfect. Get that for him. Send him out with the kids. Pop that massager on. If I were going to get Jason an appliance or gadget, I would get him AirPods. You want to know why? Because every single time that man loses his AirPods, somehow mine end up his. It's crazy how that works. Number 3, clothes you would like him to start wearing. Does your husband also wear t-shirts, shorts, and flip-flops nearly 100% of the places you go? I'm actually okay with it. But if anyone wants their partner to start jazzing it up a little bit, buy him a nice new outfit. Even better, tell him the kids picked it out. It'll work, I promise. As soon as the kids like, they get like the big eyes and their lip starts to quiver and they're like, you're not gonna wear it, you know? If I was going to buy Jason, if I personally was going to buy Jason some clothes, I'd probably buy him a banana hammock. Just kidding. 4 kids is enough. Number 4, a couple's vacation. Celebrate fatherhood the right way with a child-free trip where no one's yelling at either of you to wipe their butt. This is a very good one. I endorse this one aggressively. If you can't get away for too long, it also works for concerts that you might really want to go to, or even a new restaurant you've been wanting to try. I did, in fact, make a reservation for Father's Day at a restaurant that I do indeed love. The key is that Jason also loves it, so that's a win-win right there. I do very much endorse a parent trip, a child-free trip. We are not in the phase of life where we are able to do that at this very moment. But last summer, we had a couple child-free trips that were lovely. And that's how we ended up with it. And my last gift idea for dad, that's actually for mom, new home improvement tools. That way, let's say you need something hung up. Okay, a new picture, a mirror that you got. Get him a new drill, guys. And then it's like, now you're ready to hang that mirror that's been sitting on the floor for 6 months. Bonus tip, beware of gifting TVs or really anything with a screen, because that might also be for you. You might get to watch your shows or your movies on that. And that could benefit you, but the chances are he's going to want to show you some stuff on there. Maybe he's going to pop up some YouTube clips of golf swings, or I don't know, he's going to like screen share something there that you already saw on TikTok like 3 weeks ago. He could potentially play movies like RRR or 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Does it sound like I'm speaking about specific events? Whatever. Just be careful of screens. Don't do that. That's it for my mother's guide to Father's Day gifts. Let me know what other gifts you get for the dads in your life that are actually for mom at NGL with Kylie. We'll share some of our favorites because I'm genuinely curious. I always get stuck on gifts, and they can be for us too. Moving on, I'm going to answer a question one of the real ones sent in for me in a brand new edition of Ask Me Some Things, because Ask Me Anything needed boundaries, you crazy jackasses. Ask Me Some Things is brought to you today by LinkedIn, who's asking job seekers to dare to discover. The question is from Jenna H. Rose on Instagram. What did little Kylie want to do when she grew up? Well, if last week's episode was any indication, I definitely wanted to be a veterinarian. And if you ask me now at 33 what I want to be when I grow up, I'd still say a veterinarian. I love animals so much. I just love them. Now, maybe I can never become a veterinarian, but I was a hell of a babysitter, a lifeguard, a cashier at the local grocery store. Actually, you know what? Queen Emma, can you pull up my LinkedIn? Let's go through this the right way. Now, for starters, this photo, it's me on a beach with a blue and white dress on. I still have that dress in my closet right now. This dress is very old. And so is that photo. I'm riding that photo till the end of time. Okay. You want to know why? Because my hair's flipped to the side. It's got that beachy volume, that salty air. I love that photo. And by that, I mean, it's just a photo where I was like, that works. Put it on there. And now I don't think I've ever taken another photo where I was like, you know where that would do well? Professionally on LinkedIn. I have not yet updated my LinkedIn to say podcast host, so that's messed up. I should probably do that. But am I? Okay, so the real ones already know I'm a coach and that I work for the Eagles Autism Foundation. Here's some shit you might not know. I was a lifeguard at the Society Hill Towers. I did assist in the grill reservations as well there. Moving on. I was a babysitter. I babysat probably from when I was like 12 or 13 until, I mean, I'll babysit your kids today. I don't care. Put it to present, you know? I would like to circle back. Queen Emma brought up a great point. Babysitters, 12 and 13 years old. What are we doing? Are we still doing that today? To be clear, I would have a 13-year-old mother's helper, aka someone is home and I just need a couple extra hands or someone to sit down and color with the kids or that sort of thing. Leaving them at your home with your kids, them being me when I was 12 or 13. What? I was a staff writer for the Loquitur. That was because I took journalism in college. Shout out to Jay-Z and the rest of the communication department at Cabrini. It was college when I started there, so Cabrini College, RIP. Speaking of Cabrini College, the Dixon Center building supervisor. That was our rec center, and I started out as a front desk staff, and eventually I was a building supervisor. So I was the one with the keys. I had the keys. So if you needed something opened, that was me. I know, big time. Pretty exciting. I actually love that job. I loved the Dixons. I loved everything about Cabrini. I'm a Cabrini hype girl. I will always be a Cabrini hype girl. I was meant to be there. The end. That does it for Ask Me Some Things, brought to you by LinkedIn. My conversation with Alona Mar is coming up right after this message from me about, you guessed it, LinkedIn. If you're a real one, you know that when you search my name online, one of the first things to pop up without fail is a ridiculous tabloid headline, but also right underneath, my LinkedIn profile that I made when I was in college. Look at that photo. I love that photo. Look how young and well-rested I was. On the beach without a care in the world. Gosh, great photo. Good times. In our house, we've had all sorts of career moves during the past year or so, from Jason starting his broadcasting at ESPN to me starting the world. And one of, if not the most requested guest on the show, it's my friend, Alona Mar. Alona, welcome to Not Gonna Lie.
Happy to be here. That was awesome. I actually love hearing my intros because I'm like, dang, I did that. I did that too.
Say it again.
I did.
Keep going.
Keep it coming. I love it. I love it.
It has been a long time in the making. Like I said, the number of comments, it's a little unhinged. No, it's okay.
I love those little fans.
I mean, you've sparked something in people. And I feel like every time now that women's sports is brought up, which is one of our topics on the show, people are like, Alona.
I love that.
I
love it because it's like from a sport that isn't really known, and rugby seems so small, but to be known as just like an athlete and women's athlete in all of sport and to be making a change is so cool, because I never wanted my reach to just be rugby. I want it to be so much bigger than that.
It is. You have successfully nailed that. I'm so glad we're hanging out because it's been way too long. The last time we saw each other was in Paris.
Yes.
It's the first time I've ever watched rugby sevens, which was unreal. And did you get into it because of your dad? Is that right?
Kind of. I mean, my dad's a big rugby player. Jason taught Jason how to a little pass or something like that in the box, but he's a rugby guy, has always loved rugby, but he never got us into rugby because there was never like high level varsity programs, and he read all these studies. He's a very smart guy. He read all these studies about like having his daughters, how sports helps his daughters so much. So from a young age, we were playing all sorts of sports, and also how playing many sports was great for his daughters.
Yes.
So I would do one each season. I would do field hockey, basketball, softball. I would go to softball pitching clinics. I would do travel ball. But we never did rugby because he's like, well, they're not getting the funding. There's no teams around here. I want my daughters to play in the best leagues.
You mentioned Jason and us getting to meet your whole family when we were in Paris. They were nice enough to give us shirts, which we then, well, to be clear, your whole team was nice enough to sign a jersey for Jason, which he then was like, I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, whoa, I didn't ever see that happen
was
before.
The best sound effect I've ever heard because it's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
It was like trying to put sausage back in its casing.
Right.
It was incredible. And he was fully committed.
Fully committed. Didn't he put it on for the second day too?
Yes, he did.
Bold. I love that. Like, dang.
As if there wasn't enough sweat absorbed in it. The first day, he then put it on again. And I was like, I don't think you understand. This was given to you similar to like when you get a football jersey from a coworker.
Yeah.
You pop that sucker in a frame. That's what it's for. And he was like, but I'm wearing it. And I was like, but they're not going to ask you to go out there.
I think that's the best. I think because like we give these jerseys and then, oh, thank you so much. I bet most people don't frame them. I'd say probably what, 10% actually frame them.
Well, I'm forcing it to get framed because I fear he might try and put it on again.
Well, honestly, it's kind of iconic now. You did that one story post where he's like sitting there. It's a shirt also of me. He has my face on his shirt. He's wearing the jersey.
Yeah.
He's just like tired after a day.
Speaking of, your sisters very kindly gave us their shirts.
Oh my gosh.
Very kindly. I'm still feeling a little guilty about it. I will offer to give it back.
Do you have it on right now?
I don't want to like.
Oh my God. No.
I wanted to offer to give it.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship timeline amid Super Bowl proposal rumors. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's love story has all the makings of a Hollywood blockbuster, the romance of an all-American football star and a global pop icon. Almost a year and a half after they first went official as a couple, rumors are now swirling that the pair have already got married. The celebrity pair went to Chicago Bears player Cole Kmet's wedding over the weekend, and the event planner Ellie Natoli revealed the personalized touches at the ceremony, including a letter that was addressed to Taylor and Travis Kelce. We all know Taylor and Travis were at a different wedding in Tennessee, Natoli said in an Instagram story video on Monday, but each guest had an envelope that was adhered to a beautiful backdrop, and Emily wrote love notes to all of her guests. Many fans began speculating in the comments that the pair might have already gotten married. One person wrote, Taylor and Travis Kelce? Exus, sick, me. While other fans tried to shut down the rumors, suggesting it's purely done for the aesthetic. Me and my BF do that too on gifts and stuff, even though we aren't married, it's just kinda for the aesthetic of it, one fan wrote. The tight end made a bold move that ended up setting his romance with the Shake It Off hitmaker in motion. Speaking on his New Heights podcast, which he co-hosts with brother Jason Kelce, he revealed the cute way that he had attempted to pass Swift his phone number at one of her Eras concerts. He explained, if you're up on Taylor Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I received a bunch of them being there, but I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it. Kelce then elaborated how he was left disappointed that he had been unable to personally give this to Swift as due to the enormity of her tour. She understandably wasn't doing any meet and greets. He also praised her for performing in front of a wild crowd at Arrowhead Stadium, aka where his team happens to play. I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings, he added, confessing that he was a little hurt that he couldn't chat with her. She doesn't meet anybody, or at least she didn't want to meet me, so I took it personal. According to Entertainment Tonight, Travis has been into Taylor for a while and definitely has a crush on her. He is a simple guy that is very funny, charismatic, chill, and loves playing football. They are even said to be quietly hanging out amid both of their hectic schedules, with a source dishing to the Messenger that she saw him when she was in NYC a few weeks ago. September 14, 2023. Inquiring minds now want to know the details. The NFL Network's Andrew Siciliano reposted an interview with Kelce from August 2, in which he asks the footballer about Swift and whether it's true he tried to give her a friendship bracelet with his number on it. I said what I said. And I meant what I said when I said it. And you know what, it is what it is. I'm not gonna talk about my personal life. I know what you writers want to hear, and you want to hear more about that, and I'm not gonna give you anything, Kelce is heard saying in the clip. He doesn't just leave it there, however, shutting down further questions on the matter when asked whether Swift has reached out. Looking at the camera, he makes his position clear, saying, and that's gonna wrap it up here. On the same date, another broadcaster decided to try and pump his brother for info. Jason was also not playing ball, however, saying, I've seen these rumors. I cannot comment. Referencing his younger sibling's 2016 reality TV show Catching Kelce, he added, ever since Catching Kelce, everybody's been infatuated with Travis's love life. I don't really know what's going on there, but I know Travis is having fun and we'll see what happens with whoever he ends up with. September 21st, 2023. The Messenger seems to have some serious intel, with a source now claiming Travis and Taylor have hung out twice, and it's nothing serious. She thinks he is very charming, and they have been texting this last week. He is a little embarrassed at how much attention they are getting, but he has told her he would love to continue seeing her. They are seeing where things go. September 24th, 2023. Swift sent the internet into meltdown by turning up to one of Kelce's games where she sat next to his mother, Donna. Meanwhile, another pesky source told People, Taylor is very focused on work right now and hanging out with her girlfriends. Travis invited her to the game, and of course she said yes. She just thought it was a fantastic way to spend Sunday. September 25th, 2023. Word of their post-game date is now spreading like wildfire. Entertainment Tonight reports that he shut down a restaurant so he could throw an after-party for Swift, his family, and his teammates. Their insider said, Travis bought out the restaurant for his family and team. Taylor arrived, wearing a denim dress, and was seen snacking, having some cocktails and dancing alongside Travis. The two were very affectionate with one another but kept things fun and lighthearted. Travis' teammates also showed up to the after-party, as well as his mom and dad, Donna and Ed. The party lasted until 2 a.m. September 27, 2023. Kelce once again uses his podcast to sing Swift's praises, saying, "Shout out to Taylor for pulling up. That was pretty ballsy. That was pretty ballsy. I just thought it was awesome how everyone in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. The friends and family. She looked amazing, everybody was talking about her in a great light. And on top of that, the day went perfect for Chiefs fans, of course." He adds, to see the slow-motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom. To see how Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there, that shit was absolutely hysterical and it was definitely a game I'll remember, that's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end. He then attempts to put up some boundaries, saying, "It is my personal life and I want to respect both of our lives. She's not in the media as much as I am doing this show every single week and having fun during the NFL season on other guys' shows." October 1st, 2023. Things appear to be hotting up as not only does Swift show up for another one of Kelce's game, she brings backup amongst her star-studded entourage as the Chiefs go up against the New York Jets are Blake Lively, Sabrina Carpenter, Ryan Reynolds, Sophie Turner, Anthony Porowski, and Hugh Jackman. October 6th, 2023. Swift reportedly quietly flew to Minnesota to celebrate Kelce's birthday weekend ahead of the Chiefs game against the Minnesota Vikings on October 8. October 14th, 2023. The singer and NFL star were reportedly all over each other at a Saturday Night Live after-party in New York City, following their surprise appearances on the sketch show. A source told People that at one point, Kelce takes both her hands and puts them on his shoulder, so they're face-to-face, and then he takes both his hands and grabs her waist, they're leaning in, they're kissing each other. They're whispering. They're talking, going back and forth about what to order, like, should we get a steak? Should we get espresso martinis? And then they lean in and they're kissing again. They're touching each other the whole time. The couple stepped out for their second date night in a row, holding hands as they left the Waverly Inn in New York. The pair seemed unfazed about going public with their romance, happily smiling for photos as they headed home. October 18th, 2023. Kelce bought a $6 million home in Kansas City, seemingly so that he and Swift could have more privacy and security, TMZ reported. The mansion is in a gated community and is much more sheltered than his old home, sources said. The property boasts 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms and more than 16,000 square feet of living space. October 22nd, 2023. Swift showed up to watch Kelce with the Kansas City Chiefs play against the Chargers, cheering from the stands while wearing a Chiefs jersey. She and Kelce looked loved up as they posed for photos with friends after the game, with Swift kissing her man on the cheek. November 10th and November 11th, 2023. Kelce flew to Argentina to visit Swift during the international leg of her tour. They were spotted holding hands while going for a dinner date. A day later, Kelce watched the Midnight Singers show, in which she changed the Karma lyrics to "Karma is the guy on the Chiefs." Swift ended the show by running into the athlete's arms and kissing him. November 20th, 2023. Kelce gushed about Taylor in his cover story with Wall Street Journal mag, calling her a genius who's hilarious. "I've never been a man of words. Being around her, seeing how smart Taylor is, has been ***king mind-blowing. I'm learning every day," he said. "Obviously, I've never dated anyone with that kind of aura about them. I've never dealt with it. But at the same time, I'm not running away from any of it. The scrutiny she gets, how much she has a magnifying glass on her, every single day, paparazzi outside her house, outside every restaurant she goes to, after every flight she gets off, and she's just living, enjoying life. When she acts like that, I'd better not be the one acting all strange. December 6, 2023. Swift opened up about her relationship with Kelce during an interview with Time in which she was named Person of the Year. This all started when Travis very adorably put me on blast on his podcast, which I thought was metal as hell. She told the outlet. We started hanging out right after that. So we actually had a significant amount of time that no one knew, which I'm grateful for, because we got to get to know each other. By the time I went to that first game, we were a couple. I think some people think that.